Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com, and today I'm geeking out with you again over the HP Pavilion X360 2-in-1 convertible laptop. Yeah, that was a mouthful, and yet I got it in one take. So today we're going to talk about my top 5 favorite features for this, but I'm going to throw in a bonus here. One of my favorite features of this is, I'm not going to lie, the whole silver and gold finish. It's shiny. It's, I hate to say it, but like that's a thing for me right now. I mean, it's like capturing a rare, elusive, shiny Pokemon, right? So let's get into my top 5 favorite features. Because I went really superficial on how much I like the look of this thing, let's talk about some real functionality. Let's talk about the power. Alright, so this has an i5 core processor and 8 gigs of RAM, but the SSD in this, it's a 128 gig SSD. That actually helps the performance a lot because it's an M.2 SSD. That means that it is right there directly into the motherboard. It's not a SATA-based SSD drive, or it's not a spinning hard drive. It's one of the fastest types of drives you can have right now. So in terms of quick boot times and responsiveness, it's fantastic. And that's something that I really like. If you're gonna have a machine like this and you're a student, or you're somebody that's a working professional that deals a lot with Microsoft applications, then between that, surfing the web, and Netflix, this is gonna feel fantastic for you. It's not gonna feel slow, and that's something I think really matters to a lot of people. The other thing is the sound quality in terms of a viewing experience. Typically, I don't really get super into that, but sound has been more and more important to me lately between the headsets that I've been buying, the speakers that I've been looking at, and the built-in audio on this from B&O Play is actually really good. It's a really rich, full audio experience, so I really actually got into that, especially when I was queuing up Netflix, testing this out. That was something that I noticed immediately that was different from some of my other laptop experiences. So as far as the second top favorite feature goes, that's pretty important. I also do like that the audio toggle here on the side is really convenient. That is something that I thought was really intuitive, and I wish other people would have thought of stuff like that. My third favorite feature has to be the 2-in-1 capability itself. I was a skeptic as far as the notion of the convertible laptop. I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I just didn't think was practical before, but I actually can see how it would be appealing. And if you're not necessarily a power user like me and you're doing stuff that's more casual, then I could see why that would actually be really cool, particularly for students. I think that being able to prop this up on a desk and being able to queue up Netflix or put it in the kitchen and do something like that, I think that that's actually really convenient for a lot of people. It may not be something that I would typically take advantage of in a normal day-to-day situation, but I can definitely see the appeal of it. I'd say that my fourth favorite feature is the battery life. For a sub $1,000 laptop, I actually think that the battery life on this is pretty good. It typically is promoted at getting up to 8 hours of battery life, but my experience has been closer to 5 or 6. I still think that for everyday use, that's actually great. I think that if you're traveling on a flight, that's typically more than enough if you're not going overseas, and so I could see that actually being a decent amount of battery life. Again, for the price point that we're talking about, this is a laptop that's like under $800, so I'm not expecting to have a 10 to 12 hour battery life that usually comes out closer to a 6 to 8 hour battery life from this type of laptop. I think for who it's marketed towards, which is primarily students and general working professionals, that 6 to 8 hours is probably more than enough. My fifth and final favorite feature of this laptop is very practical. It is the overall build quality, and I'm including the keyboard and trackpad in that, as well as the touchscreen capabilities. That's a lot of stuff to wrap up into one feature, but I think it goes toward the intelligence of the design and aesthetic. I like that it has 2 USB 3.0 ports as well as an HDMI port. That makes it really practical to use and to expand. I think that having a really good keyboard experience, since this is primarily going to be used for students and for people like working in the Microsoft Office workflow more often than not, that really matters. And they got the ergonomics of the keyboard down really well. It's just as good an experience with a keyboard that I've had on a Mac Pro, believe it or not. The trackpad is still not quite what I would expect in a laptop. Apple really sets the bar really high there, but I do think that it is comparable to any other like trackpad experience I had, probably better than some of the other trackpad experience I've had, even with my Dell XPS 13. So I really think that the build quality and the form factor is really good, and that's where I would leave it in terms of my top 5 features. So I think that this is a decent laptop for students and for working professionals. I think that if this is what you end up with, that you'll really enjoy the experience overall, and that you'll get a lot of use out of it both casually and for getting work done. I don't think it's a great gaming laptop, and the thing is, I wouldn't want to necessarily do full-on Photoshop and video editing on it, but I think it can handle those things okay from what my experience was. I just wouldn't go all out like I do on my desktop or on some of my other machines. That's not what the point of this particular laptop is. It's meant to be something practical for general everyday use. Anyway, I want to thank our friends over at HP for sending this over. I will have a complete review. I want to thank them for being a hardware sponsor. I buy stuff from them all the time anyway, mostly my printers and a few other accessories. But if I were a student and this was the laptop that I was sent off to college with, I would be more than okay with it. Anyway, I hope you guys found this top 5 features video helpful in making up your mind about the HP Pavilion X360 or convertible laptops in general. If you have questions, leave those in the comment section. If you have any ideas as to what you'd like me to review here on the channel, I'm always looking for feedback on that. I'm always looking for new products to try out. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. Remember, tech videos are usually on Tuesdays. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching and geeking out with me over the HP Pavilion X360 2-in-1 convertible laptop.